name is Sarah Maxwell. I'm the Director of Marketing at ThriveAP. At ThriveAP, we are honored to have an expansive faculty of expert speakers and APPs with impressive credentials and experience. Today, I'm going to take a few moments to get to know one of our speakers a little bit better and gain some of their advice for thriving in an advanced practice career. So I want to introduce and thank you for joining us today, Ben Smith.
Thank you, Sarah. Great to be with you this afternoon and today.
Awesome. Well, I know your time is extremely valuable, so I'm just going to start kicking us right off and hop right in and ask you to tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, who you are, where you live, a little bit about your practice.
Well, thank you so much. I am Ben Smith. I'm a rheumatology PA. I've worked clinically in rheumatology for over 23 years. I have worked solely in rheumatology throughout my career as a PA. Graduating from the Medical College of Georgia PA program. And then since that time, I've practiced in one specialty, in one practice at the McIntosh Clinic in Thomasville, Georgia. It's been a wonderful opportunity in the specialty. Additionally, about a little over 6 years ago, I transitioned into working in PA education, accepting a faculty position at the Florida State University's School of Physician Assistant Practice, where I now serve as the program director and associate dean. And that FSU, of course, is located in Tallahassee, Florida.
Wow. Well, so with that, it sounds like you're already kind of involved in education. So tell me a little bit about how long you've been speaking with ThriveAP and maybe what did attract you to the opportunity, since it sounds like you are really involved in educating APPs.
Yeah, so I can't pinpoint exactly the year in which it started, but it's probably 7 to 10 years now that I've had the wonderful privilege of speaking for ThriveAP. And I remember that initial opportunity when the invitation came. I was so tremendously excited about this opportunity. I just simply love the opportunity to meet and have a conversation with fellow colleagues, both PAs and NPs, regardless of where they are. It really has been wonderful to collaborate and learn together over this time, sharing knowledge specific to rheumatology, which certainly is a passion.
Great. And so with that, I wanted to know a little bit about what your greatest passion of your role would be. So can you kind of expand upon that a little?
Yeah, so that's a question that causes a lot of reflection. And I as a graduating student, would never have imagined the many opportunities that have occurred really throughout my career to this point. The opportunity to do these types of things and share knowledge and learn from others. The opportunity literally to travel the world. The opportunity to participate in advancing knowledge or education or, quite frankly, science. But if I had to pinpoint one thing that's most noteworthy, as I think about this, I really do believe it's those individual patient relationships. They bring such tremendous, sense of pleasing and an opportunity to work together with so many good people, in my case, who have rheumatic disease, and to help them remain functional, have less pain, and do many things that they both need and want to do in their life. So I think for me, many opportunities have come, but the opportunity to interact with patients with rheumatic disease has been a wonderful opportunity.
Gosh, I would imagine with that, because you're doing so much education and you are seeing these patients, it's probably tough to stay on top of all of the new best practices and procedures and everything that's always evolving in the healthcare space. So tell me a little bit, are there certain journals that you use or apps or websites or anything that you kind of turn to help make sure that that information that you're relaying or treating with, that it's the latest and greatest?
Yeah, for rheumatology, again, my specialty, my go-to source is the American College of Rheumatology because of the science which they both support, recognize, and help to bring to the limelight of all that we say and do. There are a couple of journals of the ACR, which I look at those: Arthritis Care and Research, Arthritis and Rheumatology. Those are certainly noteworthy as well. Also, there are various apps which we use in clinic, which are tremendously helpful. And they also help, again, I'm a PA. In my certifying process, I'm responsible really for all medical knowledge. And I use those opportunities as well, keeping up with journals that are PA specific as well to keep up with my medical knowledge and making sure I'm staying up to date for those who I serve.
Gosh, and all that free time you have, right?
Correct, of course. Yeah.
So you've spoken a lot about educating APPs and kind of sharing that knowledge. So when you think about that, what do you think it takes to be a good mentor? Or what are some of the attributes that you would look for or did look for when you had a mentor?
Yeah, those are great things. And whether it's stated or not stated, I think we're all looking for, colleagues, relationships, those that we can go to for answers. And it's often reciprocated in those conversations, mentor, mentee, mentee, mentor. But I think things that are so notable and so much dependent upon in that relationship is certainly availability and listening to conversation, to questions that may come. I think that mutual relationship is fruitful over time, and it's quite motivating and encouraging. So I think availability and the ability to simply listen to questions or concerns or experiences really wins the day in that relationship. And then the other opportunity I think that comes with a mentor-mentee, mentee-mentor relationship is the opportunity to really share a vision of the many wonderful opportunities in a clinical practice of the things that we're doing to affect lives positively every day. And then perhaps even outside the clinic for those who are interested to expand reach and influence to many other colleagues, wherever they might be.
Yeah, that's a great point. Shared vision hasn't been one I've heard a lot throughout these, meeting some of our speakers. So I think that's such an interesting point you bring up and kind of speaks back, a little bit what you had touched on of the why, right? Why are we doing this? What is our goal at the end of the day? So I think that's a really good point.
Yeah, as a student, I never would have imagined all the great privileges and opportunities and experiences that have been had. I'm just so grateful for those things. And I think helping each other to find and discover that is a wonderful opportunity.
Absolutely. Well, and with that kind of in mind, you've had such a successful career. Is there any advice that you would give maybe the next generation of APPs or providers and telling them, hey, these are just some great advice tips that worked for me that could help them prepare for a successful future?
Yeah, I think two things, and I like to share these with students as well. So I think the application is pertinent and is valid for both. And that would be to stay thirsty. Stay thirsty for knowledge. Stay thirsty for those things that lie ahead of us. Keep our eyes open, our ears open, our minds and our hearts open as well. Because as we do that, we will see things and we'll be enlightened by that as well. So stay thirsty for those opportunities. And then, a word that gets a lot of attention today and is recognized is this idea of grit and resilience. I think those are valid and very desirable attributes and qualities for all of us to consider. Every time we make a diagnosis, every time we have an interaction, we truly do change lives. Whether it's a diagnosis or not a diagnosis, that makes a difference. And, just grateful for those opportunities that we have. So I think stay thirsty, be resilient, have grit, and, that those things will help us as we go forth and help others in all that we do.
Yeah, absolutely. It's funny. I think it's on my LinkedIn profile or something that my thing I always say is to be intentional and to stay hungry. So I completely understand what you're saying. You always want to, especially I think in the healthcare space, everything's changing so rapidly and evolving with technology and innovation that you need to kind of keep putting yourself out there and taking advantage of opportunities to network with your peers and learn from them and take advantage of amazing experiences that you can get from that.
Completely agree. Hunger, thirst, whichever, we'll take both.
We'll take it. Well, thank you so much. I think we've taken up a lot of your valuable time today. And thank you for being with us here today and sharing your incredible expertise.
Well, thank you for the opportunity, and I look forward to meeting many others in the months and the years that are still yet to come.
Absolutely. And thank you everyone for joining us today, and stay tuned to meet more of our faculty. Have a great day.